Today, we're going to just review your online My BCC student portal, Moodle. We're going to review some support services. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the academic calendar, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of time for questions. So when I sent you the email, inside your email with your Zoom invite was a virtual folder, and inside was our academic roadmap, our academic calendar, because it's going to be different than your high school calendar, and then our early college handbook. And so to get on your My BCC, which is your student portal, you'll go to berkshirecc.edu, and then in the right-hand corner, you're going to click My BCC, where you see the red arrow. And then you're simply going to type in your student ID, which Beth sent to you in your acceptance letter, and it should be S and some numbers in the right-hand corner. And then you're going to type in your last 6 of your social security number, and then it'll automatically prompt you to change your password. So if you're having issues with that, please stay back after this presentation, and we'll see if we can get you logged in. And then once you're all logged in and you're all set to go, you want to log back out. You're going to want to click on Password Self-Service Enrollment. So this is where you're going to set up your security questions so that if you forget your password, you can use the Forgot Password feature. So this is what it looks like when you get onto your My BCC. And this is where you're going to find your student email. So your email is important. So anytime you're emailing your instructor, myself, or Beth, you're going to want to utilize this email so that we know that it's you. To log on, you're going to click on the purple link. You're going to type in your student ID, so S in the numbers, at berkshirecc.edu. So please write this down because you're going to forget. You're going to get on and you're going to probably just put in your student ID or your email, and it's your S and your number at berkshirecc.edu. And you're going to use the same password as you use for My BCC that you just set up. So when you're giving out your email, it's going to be your first name underscore your last name at student.berkshirecc.edu. So that's the email you give out, but your student ID is going to be your username. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Moodle. So Moodle is going to be your online learning platform. So basically, if you're taking an online class, most of all the classes are going to be online or a hybrid. This is where you're going to find your classes. So the first day of class, you're going to see, say, English 101. It's going to be right there. You're going to be able to click on it, and you're going to be able to log into your Moodle account, and that's where you're going to do all of your work. So before classes start, I want you to go to your My BCC. I want you to scroll down. I want you to go to My Bookmarks, and you're going to click on Moodle Help and Orientation. Once you click on that, it's going to have a screen. It's going to say Quick Links. You're going to click on it. It's going to say Moodle Login. You're going to log in using your student ID and your password. And then I want you to go up in the corner, and it's going to say Moodle Resources and Help. You're going to click on that. It's going to be a drop-down box, and you're going to click on Moodle Orientation. And then you're going to be able to enroll yourself into the Moodle orientation. And if you have any questions about that, or if you need any help, please email me and I will walk you through it. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Web Advisor. So this is within your student portal. So I'm going to go back a couple of slides, see where it says your BCC email. Well, over here is going to be your Web Advisor. It says user account, financial info for students. It's right on that main web page. So under Web Advisor is going to be your account to make payments. So your bill is going to be there. And I just want you to know if you take more than one class, you'll end up paying for it yourself or your parents. And your parents are going to be able to find your bill there. So we were not going to mail you a bill or anything. You're going to have to find it there. And then you can look at your unofficial transcripts. You can view your midterm and your final grades if your teacher puts it up. And then you'll also be able to find your course schedule under Web Advisor. So you can see Web Advisor. And then, you can click on user account. And this is where you're going to do your emergency notification. So you'll click on user account. You're going to click on emergency notification for both emergency contact information and emergency notification. And it's going to look like this. So this is where you're going to put your information so that we can contact you if there's ever a snow day, an emergency, campus. So if you're on campus and there's an emergency, they will send it to both your cell phone or your secondary email. It'll give you information and instructions. So you definitely want to complete this. So financial info for students. And before I go on to the next section, does anybody have any questions about anything that I've said so far? If you do, you can unmute yourself and ask me the question if you like, or you can type it into the chat.
Nothing so far.
Okay, so I'll go on. So under Web Advisor, we're still under Web Advisor. We're going to talk a little bit about the financial info for students. This is where you're going to find your bill. You're going to click on financial info for students. Then you're going to go to view accounts and make payments. And this is just simply for the students who are taking more than one class. We are paying for the one class, but if you take more than one, this is where you're going to find your bill. Oops. And this is where your bill is going to be. So it's going to look exactly like this. You can click on account activity and it'll give you a view of your bill. And then we're going to go to academic profile for students, still under Web Advisor. You click on that. And then you can simply click on my class schedule. So you'll be able to see your class schedule. So you'll know where your class is, when your class is. So if you're in a virtual class, you'll know what time to get on your Zoom. If you are in a science lab, you'll know what class to go, what classroom to find for your lab. And if you need any help after this, please let me know. Send me an email and I can help you. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go to academic profile for students, click on it. These will be your choices, and then you'll just click on my class schedule. And this is also where you can find your books. So once you click on my class schedule, you're going to click on term, which is going to be fall 2020, and then you'll hit submit. And then obviously you won't have this many classes, but this is what it'll look like. You can simply click on the blue link where your class is. And then it'll give you a description of the class. And at the bottom, you'll click here for prices and your required text. Any questions about that? Nothing?
Nothing in the chat yet.
Okay. So if you want to find out, you can actually go to campus to the bookstore, but you can also order your books at this website. So this is the BCC website. So you can click on textbooks. Oops. And then fall. So you're going to need your schedule for that. You click on the textbooks and then it's going to give you choices, and you're going to need to know if you're in English 101 and the section, so you know which book to pick. But I think it's kind of late in the game to order books now, so you're going to probably want to contact the bookstore and go to the bookstore and get your books. And then also in your zip folder that I sent you is an academic advising roadmap. It's what you should expect from your advisor, what your advisor expects from you, when and why to meet with your advisor, and on the back are campus resources. So here's the campus resources. So if you need to get in contact with anybody on campus, like our testing center or disability services, like I just said, you want to contact the bookstore, you can call them. There's the number. You can find out when they're open, when is probably the best time to go there, because they want little as people in the store at a time, so you can schedule an appointment to go and see them. And then some support services for you. We have Disability Resource Center. Pam Theron is the coordinator. And so if you have an IEP at school or a documented disability, you want to contact her so you can get your accommodations at BCC. And again, that's on the back of that form that I just showed you, so you can contact her. Then we also have free tutoring services, which you can go onto our main webpage. You type in tutoring, and then the form will come up and you can get a tutor, a remote tutor. And then we have the library, which you can, that's where we actually have the tutoring center there, our computer labs there, but right now we're not having any students up, but you can meet with them virtually. So if you have a class that you have to do some research, you can just go to the website and they will meet with you virtually. Does anybody have any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Okay. So this is what the academic calendar looks like for BCC. So our days off doesn't necessarily mean the same days off as you. So I want you to try to print this out, put it on your calendar, You can put it on your calendar, or you can put it on your refrigerator. But I do want to point out the second circle down, which is drop and add period. So from September 8th to the 15th is when you can drop a class and it won't affect you at all. So if you feel like you get on between the first week of class and that class is not for you, please let me know as soon as possible and I can drop you from that class. If you do it after the 15th, then we have to contact the teacher. We have to get permission from the teacher. We do that by emailing the teacher. Then you have to forward it on to me, and then I have to drop you, and then you'll have a W on your college transcript. It won't affect the GPA, but it will be a W on your transcript. But if you do a withdrawal after November 12th, so between September 15th and November 12th, it'll be considered a withdrawal. It won't affect your GPA. But if you do it, the last day to do that is November 12th. So November 13th, if you say to me, I don't want to be in that class, it is going to affect your GPA, which will affect you later on if you choose to go to college. It could affect your financial aid, and you will get either a WP or a WF. So if you're passing at that time, the teacher will give you a WP, but if you're failing, they'll give you a WF. So please, if you can, I know there's emergencies that come up, but if you can do it between September 8th and the 15th, that would be ideal if you had to drop the class. But worst case scenario, please do it before November 12th. Does anybody have any questions about that? Beth, any questions in the chat?
Nothing yet.
Okay, I'll continue. So I just wanted to show you the course key. So if you're in a remote class, which is all web-based, it may say on your class schedule, times to be announced. Please disregard that. There will be no times that will be announced. But if you're in a hybrid class, that means you are going to be on class and online. So just be mindful of that. If you're in person, it's going to be all in person. So I just put this on here, so if you want to go back and kind of look around to see what your class is, you can. And then these are the technical requirements you need for your computer if you're taking classes at BCC this semester. So you can come back. I think I sent the PowerPoint along with my virtual folder. And if I didn't, let me know and I will send it to you so you can go back and look at it. But I'm pretty sure I did. And now I'm going to stop sharing and ask if anybody has any questions. So everybody can take themselves off and mute.
I do have a question. I'm taking HIS 117. The book source says that my textbooks and materials have not been determined. What would you recommend I do?
So here's what you can do is so if you go to your class schedule and you click on the link that I told you, it'll prompt you to, it'll say email me when it's there. And you can just put in your email and they'll let you know when the book is there. It's possible that they might not even have a book. Does that answer your question? Or you can call the bookstore and ask them if the teacher is going to have a book, because sometimes it just says that. If you go to the main webpage and you just type in bookstore, you'll get that bookstore number.
And Amelia, I'll double check on that too for you, and I'll send you something if I see something.
Any other questions?
Good question.
You should know already what kind of class you have. So if you go to your class schedule, it'll say it right there.
Yeah, so if it says I send you your class schedule, and if it says virtual anywhere, so that means I think it really means it's virtual hybrid. So it means there's a time to meet, and then so you want to keep checking your Moodle and your email to see, and then the rest of it is online. If it says web-based, that means it's completely online. I don't think anybody's taking anything in person. We have very few in-person classes, unless it's like a studio art class or a lab. So if it says virtual, then that means it's both. It's online and you have specific meet times. And if it says web-based, then it's completely online. I can check.
Yeah, could you check while we're still on here what she's at? So
Yep, I got to get into the VPN.
Can I ask everybody, was everybody able to get into their My BCC and were they able to look around? I think you have to take yourself off and mute if you have to answer that question. Or you can just put yes in the chat, but she asked if this video will be emailed or sent to students in some form or another so they can review later.
Yes, when we get this, Shelley will have this recording and she can send it to me, and then I can forward it to everybody that's on here. We may even put it on the early college webpage. So if people are, I got to ask about the website manager about that, but so that people can access it and review it if they had any questions. Or if anybody emails me, I can send it to you. So we'll get it to you. Probably more ways than you want, but I'll get it to you.
Any other questions? Okay, so it looks like everybody said yes, they were able to get on their My BCC, which is good. Please try to get into the Moodle orientation. So if you log into your Moodle and you go up to the resources, and once you enroll yourself into that, it'll give you lessons how to use Moodle. So let me see. I'm just going to share my page really quick so I can show you. So this is My BCC. And so I have some courses you can see. It says my courses in Moodle. So this is what it's going to look like for you. And then over here, bookmarks, you're going to click on Moodle Help and Orientation. You're going to go ahead and you're going to click Moodle Login. And I'll type in my information and go like this. And then you go up here to Moodle Help and Resources. You go Moodle Orientation. And then you go down here and you just hit Moodle, Student Moodle Orientation Course. And then if you scroll down in the middle, well, for you, it's going to say enroll me, and then it'll present itself like this. And you scroll down to the middle, and then these are all the lessons you have to take to be proficient in Moodle.
And Shelley,
Okay.
if you go, yeah, also under everybody's Moodle, there will also be a new student orientation. Everybody should have access to, and it gives you a lot of information about services on campus, how to access different things, and there'll be another new Moodle orientation will also be on there. I don't think it's there yet, but everybody should have access to the new student orientation. So there's a lot of great information in there as well.
Okay, so if nobody has any other questions, you're free to go.
If anybody needs me to resend you their schedule, if you have any questions, just email me and I can do that for you too.
Right, and one other thing I do want to say is if you find that you have additional, if you go to your view accounts and make payments and you have something other than on your bill besides your course, that one course that you're paying for, that we're paying for, please let us know, because sometimes when students take more than 9 credits, the college automatically charges you health insurance. So we want to address that right away. Okay.
Yeah, if you see anything weird with your bill, just email me. We credit everybody, but it's a manual process. So I register you, I let somebody know that I registered you and to credit you. So it might take a day or two, but so don't panic, but just let me know and I'll double check on that for you.
Right. And Lena, I'm looking up your class right now.
Yeah, she's on campus.
Oh, did you look it up for her?
Yep, yep.
Okay, so she's all
Some
set?
theater courses and art courses are on campus.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like, you can go and enjoy the rest of your summer. And if you have any questions, please either email myself or Beth.
Yep.
Okay.
Happy to help. Thank you so much.
Meredith, are you there?
Need help with something?
No, sometimes students,
Just welcome.
yeah, they do that. So we're all set, right?
I think so. And just you can probably stop the recording and then I don't know how you save it. But.
Okay.